What's up guys, Kyle here again, and today we're going on tour, baby. Not really going on tour, but we're gonna check out the tour, baby. This is an awful intro. It's the Orange Tour, baby. You probably already knew that from clicking on the video. Let's do it. Alright guys, hope you're doing great out there today. If this is your first time here at my channel, my name is Kyle, and welcome to Baritone Studios. What I do here is I take all sorts of awesome, high-gain related guitar equipment, record it with a simple setup, and I give you the unprocessed audio on your end. So if you're into E-stand or thrash riffs, drop C hardcore riffs, and dudes that forget pretty much every riff they know as soon as they hit record, you're in the right place. Consider hitting the like button and subscribing on the way out so you don't miss any more of my stuff. Thanks! Alright guys, so today we are checking out the last of the new Baby series from Orange Amplification. If you guys are unfamiliar, which I can't believe that you would be, or else you must be living under a rock because these things have been huge over the last few months. Orange have released 3 fully featured amplifiers based off of the Gain Baby 100 watt pedal power format that they have. The Pedal Baby was an extremely popular choice of portable power amp, so Orange went ahead and built in 3 different choices of amplifiers with that 100 watt power section. I think it was a brilliant idea, honestly, because people seem to be loving these things. I count myself among those people because I've really been enjoying playing through these amplifiers. You guys are actually going to get to see me use one of these amplifiers live for an extremely loud metal show to see how it performs. So make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss that video. It's going to be coming within the next couple of weeks here. But yeah, I've already put out a dedicated video of the Gain Baby and the Dual Baby, as well as just the plain Pedal Baby. So this is literally the last amplifier in the line of the Baby amps that I get to share with you guys. So if you want to see the other 2 amplifiers, I'll put links down below to those other videos. But with the Tour Baby being the last of the 3 for me to share with you guys here on the channel, it actually kind of makes sense because it falls in between the Gain Baby and the Dual Baby in both features and sound. The Dual Baby had 2 different high gain channels on it. The Gain Baby had 1 very high gain channel on it, but it also featured a clean channel. Well, the Tour Baby features a clean channel, but it also features a slightly high gain channel. And you'll see what I mean here in a minute. It needs help to get into metal territory, but it takes a boost like a champ. But to me, it really sounded like the gain channel on the Tour Baby was basically the lower gain channel on the Dual Baby. But the cool thing is about these amps is they all bring a little something different. They're not just mixing and matching channels from the other amplifiers. They all do sound different in their own way. So yeah, obviously we've got these 2 channels. We have a foot switchable volume control here, so you can switch to a different volume on your gain channel if you want to make a lead be louder, if you play loose or weak music. And then on the back of the amp, we have dual speaker outputs and we have an effects loop, and that's really it. These things are nice and stripped down and simple, just like my brain. So today, we're gonna check out the Tour Baby. I'm going to put multiple different guitars and multiple different tunings. We're gonna compare how it reacts with different pickups, with different output levels, so you can see how it responds to everything. We're gonna try a couple different overdrives, and by the end of this, I may not be wearing pants. But before we dive into all of that, you guys should know this is a sponsored video. Orange have sent me the Tour Baby amplifier to share with you guys here on the channel, and they are also paying me. So, in the sake of full transparency, I wanted you guys to know that. Feel free to take everything that I have to say with a massive grain of salt. You're more than fair to do so, but just know, I'm gonna give you my honest thoughts and opinions as I always do. Keep that in mind. So, for that intro clip, guys, I was using my Epiphone 1979 Les Paul Custom Adam Jones model with the Seymour Duncan distortion in the bridge. We had the amplifier going into my Mesa 1999 traditional cab with the stock vintage 30s, SM57 on those V30s, and we were boosting the amplifier with the Lichtlarm King in Yellow pedal, one of my favorite overdrives, and that all sounded like this. personal opinion, sound fucking great. I really have become a huge fan of orange amplifiers over the last few years, and man, that is just every bit the orange signature tone. We've got a big low end, but it's got a little bit of sag and almost a little bit of saturation to the low end when I palm mute. When I palm mute on the guitar, like there's almost a little bit of fuzziness to the low end as well as the high end. That's kind of like an orange signature thing. We've got a ton of mid content, but the amazing thing about these Baby Series amplifiers is Orange have added a presence control to the high gain channels, and you don't usually see that on a lot of their amplifiers, and it just makes getting that top end dialed in so easy. I can get it just right. Sounds incredible. But real quick, you guys should hear how it sounds without that overdrive, and I'm sure you'll yell at me if I don't play it without an overdrive right now. Just a great, thick rock and roll tone, plenty of mids. If I were to pull that low end back, very few amplifiers when I plug in that I don't just want to go straight to the high gain sounds. This is one of them. Like, this is such a great, crunchy rock and roll tone. It's, even though it's an orange and we've got the gain cranked up pretty high, it doesn't have a lot of fizz to it, but it does have that signature orange mid-range that just sounds amazing. Let's see how it reacts to a volume control. So yeah, like all orange amplifiers that I have played, the front end is incredibly responsive and dynamic. It really does respond to the way that you play. It responds to the volume control very well. And it also responds to an overdrive, because that was with no overdrive. Kick the overdrive in. I've never met an amplifier that is more responsive to an overdrive in the front end than an orange amp, and it pretty much seems to go for all of their amps. So if you plug into an orange just not quite giving you what you want out of it out of the box, hit it with an overdrive or try a guitar with a different pickup. It might get you there because it's just that responsive. So we're gonna start cycling through some pickups. I'm gonna grab a lower output pickup and then we'll move into the hotter stuff. Alright guys, so we have the gain maxed out. I'm going to play the same riff through a few different guitars so you guys can hear how it responds to the different pickups. So as you can see with all four different guitars, not only did we get different output levels, but I feel like the differences in the guitars really shined through, and we're not just talking about like slight voicing differences. I mean, this guitar felt like it had no low end in it whatsoever, whereas the Dimebucker loaded guitar felt like it had a ton of low end. So like, it really is very responsive to different pickups, and that also leads me to the fact that it is responsive to different overdrives. Responsive. So here it is with a Boss SD1. Here it is with the Lich Lamb King in Yellow. So, two very different tones just by swapping out the overdrive and changing nothing else. It's responsive. Have I gotten the point across yet? Play a drop C hardcore riff. Alright guys, so for drop C, I had the Lich Lair and King in Yellow boosting the amplifier. That is a hardcore tone that I would be f***ing psyched to use in any case. Like, that sounded really good. The mids were nice and broad, but they weren't overpowering and honky. The top end, I was able to balance it just right with the treble and the presence control. And the low end was just punchy enough. And we have the low end dialed out quite a bit, so if you wanted to go for a bigger, scoopier tone, Boss SD1. Dude, these amps are way too much fun, seriously. I know people are gonna scream at me if I don't do something on the clean channel, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you to watch somebody else's video because I don't do cleans. So now that half the audience has clicked off, let's do one of the most fun parts of the video. Baritone. So that was with the Boss SD1 Wazacraft engaged in front of the amplifier. Here it is with no overdrive. If you were going for a sludgy tone, that would be great all day, but I'm not. I like good tones. So let's kick in that King in Yellow one last time. So with the baritone, like, it just sounds so good, man. I love the way that these orange amps are able to be tailored not only via the very responsive EQ on these amps, like every orange amp that I've had, the EQ has been crazy responsive, and you can really just get a lot of different tones out of the amp just by playing with the bass, middle, and treble controls. So that's already awesome, but again, I keep talking about the responsiveness to overdrives and to different pickups, and I was able to basically transform that baritone tone into something extremely tight, very aggressive in the upper mids and highs, truly shape this amp and have it do basically whatever you need it to do simply by changing out the guitar and the pickup or swapping different overdrives and boosts out in front of it if you're going for the high gain thing, or even if you're not, even if you're trying to get different classic rock tones. A slightly different guitar setup, a slightly different overdrive might literally just make it exactly what you need, but the amp also sounds great, just plugged straight in. So I think that you guys know my thoughts on this amplifier because I've basically been gushing about it the whole time. I did the same thing about the other baby amplifiers because I think they're incredible, but now I'm leaving it up to you. What did you guys think about the Orange Tour Baby? Do you have experience with this amplifier? And if so, what is your experience? Ben, Did you feel like I represented it accurately here in this video? If you thought my tones were straight doo-doo butt mud, leave a poop emoji down below in the comments. But as always, I want to hear from you on these amplifiers. They've been incredibly popular, and I would love to see how you are using and hopefully enjoying yours, or if you don't like it, let me know what you don't like about it. I'll make sure to meet you guys down there to chat about it. If you would like to pick up one of these amplifiers for yourself, I will leave affiliate links to Sweetwater, Guitar Center, and Zounds. If you guys buy this amplifier or any other gear that you're looking for through those affiliate links, it costs you guys nothing extra, but I get a nice little kickback. It greatly helps support the channel and helps support what I do here. So huge shout out to any of you who have used those affiliate links or plan to use them. I really do appreciate it. I also really appreciate Orange Amplification for being willing to work with me and send these amplifiers out so I can make these videos with you guys here on the channel. If there is any Orange gear that you guys have not seen me demo yet that you would like to see, leave it down below in the comments as well. That way I can reach out to Orange and hopefully somehow bribe them into working with me again. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Kyle here again. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. You know what this wall is missing? Another amp. There we go.